I'm glad that he stated plainly that he's anti-growth. Okay, this undermines the sincerity of his expressed concern for the 22 million unemployed in the United States. Okay, they can be made employed by growth and only by growth. They will not be made employed by cutting off immigration. Okay, now, I want to bring into focus something here because to a number of people this debate may seem very novel in that we sort of have a genre-crossing debate here where Cafaro, who represents himself as a liberal, is anti-immigration, and I, who am a conservative, is pro-immigration. I am pro-growth. Okay, now, the thing, and he is clearly attempting to sell conservatives on accepting the whole global warming mau-mau, saying that this could be useful to you if you are concerned about immigration. This provides you with a rationale for supporting anti-immigrant views. Now, you need to understand that this phenomenon is not new, okay? The philosopher Friedrich Hayek, in his great book, The Road to Serfdom, discusses this. He says that Nazism is the final stage in the development of socialism. And then he answers the immediate obvious objection of how can you say that the Nazis are racists and the socialists are internationalists. He says, yeah, but you see, what Hitler understands is that in order to really put over collectivism, he has to invoke the tribal instinct. Okay. So the combination of xenophobia with collectivism is the most lethal combination possible, and it is to be shunned. And to the liberals, he is saying, look, if you want to be consistent with your collectivism, you should embrace xenophobia. Okay, well, if there are liberals here, I congratulate you on your inconsistency in not embracing xenophobia. I do not believe that xenophobia is a conservative position. It isn't, okay? Immigration, anti-immigration, okay, is not a free enterprise position. It is not a Judeo-Christian position. It is not a position that is consistent with the doctrine of our Declaration of Independence, and it's not consistent with the methods that built this country. And therefore, it is not a conservative position. And someone who says that we should reject free enterprise economics, that we should reject Judeo-Christian ethics, that we should reject the doctrine of the founders, and we should reject the methods that built this country is not a conservative, okay? Rather, what we are receiving here is a soft-pedaled version of National Socialism. You combine nationalism with socialism, you do not get conservatism, you get National Socialism. Okay, and that is what we're hearing here. Now, for the rest, I mean, the specifics are just ludicrous. We've increased our carbon use, 50-fold over the past 200 years. We have not created a climate catastrophe. The carbon in the atmosphere has increased. It has increased the rate of plant growth. This is not bad. Sea level, yeah, it's going up. It's going up at a rate of an inch a decade, which means over the next 100 years, assuming this trend continues, and there's all sorts of negative feedbacks in the biosphere that might make it not continue. But if it did continue, it would raise sea level by 10 inches, which is insignificant. Okay, so these people talk around the consequences to the people in Africa if the CO2 is in the atmosphere and so forth. My God, okay. The consequences to the people in Africa, if you have a worldwide recession, are enormous. An economic decline that can create recession in the United States creates mass starvation in Africa. And the limited growth people, okay, who have a concerted policy to attempt to drive up energy costs, I mean, I want you to think about this. Carbon taxes, limitation on oil drilling, which drives up the price of oil, limitation on nuclear power, okay, limitation on all sorts of technologies that would expand the overall wealth available to humanity. Okay, this is not concern for the people in Africa. And then finally, well, a couple of things. Okay, because it is the practice of the anti-humanists to invoke selflessness. It's a very good book people here might want to read. It's called Wild Swans by Zheng Chang. It discusses life in China in the 20th century and how all these people were convinced to support incredible tyrannical measures because to oppose oppression was selfish. To demand individual liberty was selfish. To demand that other people give up their liberty, to demand that other people give up their right to human dignity and a decent life is not a Judeo-Christian point of view at all. Okay, and the denial of well-being to others is not a Judeo-Christian position at all. So I'll quote the Bible too. I just happen to have one with me. Okay. Here's the Jewish position. It's from Leviticus 19. Okay. And if the stranger sojourn with thee in your land, you shall not vex him. But the stranger that dwelleth with you shall be unto you as one born among you, and thou shalt love him as thyself, for ye were strangers in the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. And if you want to hear it from Jesus, take a look at Matthew 25. Okay, it's somewhat longer, although rather stronger. And then the king shall say unto them on the left hand, Depart unto me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungered, and you gave me no meat. I was thirsty, and you gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and you took me not in. Naked, and you clothed me not. Sick, and in prison, and you visited me not. Okay, and so forth. And the demand that other people live in poverty is not a Judeo-Christian position at all. Okay, it is not a charitable position at all. Okay, and we should have nothing to do with this. And finally, I must say that if you actually go to the trouble of reading the philosophical writings of Cafaro and his co-thinkers, they deride the very notion of ethics based on bettering humanity. They call it anthropocentrism, okay, kind of like ethnocentrism or something, okay, where we think humans are more important than other life forms and you're trying to benefit humans, and it shows that you have a very limited point of view. Or human supremacism, as his co-editor Eileen Chris determines it in this book. Okay.
30 seconds, please, to wrap up.
All right. Well, I'll leave it there. Thank you.